Hello and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Theta and my targets for Theta this cycle. So let's get straight into it. First, we're looking at Theta versus Ethereum, and we're going to talk a little bit about the market cycle and the human emotion. Then we'll get into the targets for Theta this cycle and where I think it's going to go in the bigger picture as crypto is mass adopted by the public. Because personally, that's what I believe is coming for crypto, is a mass adoption cycle. We have everything in place for it, and I firmly believe that this is the cycle that crypto will be mass adopted by the public. So let's get started here. So we have Ethereum over here on the right and Theta over here on the left. As you can see, now I'm comparing these two cycles together to show you guys just how similar human psychology is over and over again. Every single cycle, the same things appear in the charts over and over. Now, with this comparison, you can see how Ethereum did an ABC correction down, then did a pump up towards $369, and then did another ABC correction back down to major support. Then it did a double bottom pattern, broke out, and then went for a bull market. Now, Theta has really done the exact same thing this cycle that Ethereum did in one of its previous cycles. Now you can see here that Theta did an ABC correction down, bounced back up, then did another ABC correction down, two major support, just exactly like what Ethereum did. Now basically what we're looking for here with Theta is a double bottom pattern and a breakout through resistance, just like how Ethereum did right here after the COVID drop, which, by the way, the COVID drop is very similar to this whole tariff situation. There's a lot of fear, a lot of FUD in the markets, but professional investors don't make their trading decisions based on headlines. What I do believe is about to happen as a result of all of this fear, of everybody freaking out, is a massive recovery and a breakout through resistance and the beginning of a massive bull market for this coin. And then I believe we will head up towards a new all-time high, just in the same way that Ethereum did right here. You guys, human psychology never changes. People do the same thing over and over again. They fall for the same tricks over and over. And as a result of that, we get the same patterns in these charts over and over. And what I personally believe is going to happen here as a result of this repeat of human psychology is a massive breakout and an extremely profitable bull market, which almost nobody is talking about right now, which is interesting to me because the opportunity has never been higher. Everybody wanted to buy the dip, and then when the dip actually came, nobody's buying. Get your head on straight, people. If you want to make money, you got to start buying the dip, and you cannot be afraid of buying when fear is high. And you got to learn how to see the market for what it is and not based on your own opinion or your own fears or what headlines you're seeing in the news. You got to wake up and actually trade this market for what it is. And to be honest with you guys, the opportunity for buying crypto right now has never been higher. The opportunity to get rich in crypto has never been better. But everybody is talking about the wrong things. Everybody thinks this is going to be the top of the entire economy in the whole world. And you guys, the charts are just simply not showing that. Yeah, some people are looking at the wrong technical indicators. Some people are looking at death crosses. Some people are looking at all the wrong things. You guys got to stay focused on the bigger picture, stay focused on the market cycle, and you're going to be able to see this market for what it is. And if you guys want to get rich in these markets, you have to be willing to buy during times like this. This is when the professionals are buying. This is when the people who actually know what they're doing are buying more coins. So I personally believe Theta will play out this fractal and we will see a very strong recovery on this coin and the beginning of a massive bull market for Theta. So let's talk about the big picture targets for this coin and where I personally think it's going to go before we end up topping out and starting another big bear market like we saw right here. So the best way to actually determine targets for this coin is to compare previous cycles, like the cycle we saw on Bitcoin back in the day, and use our Fibonacci extension tool to find where Bitcoin topped out. Then we can get a pretty good idea of just how high Theta can go this cycle before we see another major bear market. So let's grab the trend-based Fib extension tool here, and we're going to go from the bottom to the top and then back down to the bottom on Bitcoin. And then we'll do the same thing for Theta over here from the bottom to the top and then back down to the bottom. And then we're going to stretch out this Bitcoin chart so we can see just how big the bull market that came afterwards was. So we can use these extensions to get an idea of just how high Theta can go when the bull market starts and when mass adoption starts for crypto and money starts flooding into this market in a way that few people are dreaming of right now. So if we stretch this market out and see the same exact Fibonacci ratios, we can see that Bitcoin topped out at the 16,618 from that extension we measured of that market cycle down there. And you can see that that would be 20,000 per coin on Bitcoin. Now, the same extension in relation to Theta's market cycle would be $260. So this is the highest level I personally think Theta can go before another big picture bear market would happen for this coin. But in a mass adoption cycle, I definitely believe we will start to head up towards these higher extensions, and we'll have corrections along the way up. But I personally believe we're going to blow people's expectations away, and we could even go clear to the 16,618 Fibonacci extension, which would be basically $260 per Theta. Now, I'm not saying it's guaranteed that we go that high. We could stop at the 13,618. We could stop at the 9,618. Nobody knows for sure how high we're going to go. But based on historical cycles and what we've seen in these markets before, generally speaking, crypto has really big bear markets, and then the bull markets that come afterwards are astronomically large. And because of that, they have a tendency to go up towards these higher Fibonacci extensions before a big picture bear market comes. And if this truly is the mass adoption cycle for crypto, then we could go to levels that few people are dreaming of right now. So these are my personal targets for Theta this cycle. Nobody knows for sure where it's going to top out, but I do firmly believe we are headed into mass adoption, and there's going to be a massive bull market for crypto. We've already started to see the early signs of this with Bitcoin, and I firmly believe this is coming for Theta. So again, the first target would be the 9,618 at $152. The second target would be the 13,618 at $215. And the third target would be the 16,618 at $263. Now, you guys, because nobody knows where the exact top is, the best thing to do is not to try to sell all at one level, but once you start to get up towards these higher extensions, to just basically start selling little chunks of your investment until you're finally scaled out in the top. You guys, the biggest bull market in crypto history is coming. The only question is whether you're going to be part of it. If you put more money into these markets, you're doing what you need to do to get rich in these markets. If you're selling right now, you should strongly consider looking at the bigger picture, not worrying about the news, not worrying about the headlines, and just focusing on what you can do to maximize your profits in these markets. And the best way to do that is to focus on buying the dip and focus on the big picture mass adoption cycle that is coming for crypto. And you guys, don't be afraid of what people are saying. 90% of the market has no idea what they're doing. And when the market goes down, they make bad decisions. If you want to get rich in these markets, you have to see the market for what it is. You have to be willing to buy people's fear and be greedy when other people are fearful. And it's not that hard. It's really pretty simple. When there's blood in the streets and everybody's afraid and everybody thinks the world is ending and the economy is going to crash forever, you buy. It's really that simple. And when everybody thinks it's going to go up forever and continue going up and there's never going to be a bear market, you sell. It's not that complicated. You just got to focus on the human psychology and do opposite of the crowd. W.D. Gann was one of the most successful traders in the stock market, and this is one of my favorite quotes by him. He said, "A successful trader studies human nature and does the opposite of what the general public does." So the general public right now, you have to ask yourself, what are they doing? And if you ask yourself that question honestly, you're going to get the answer that the fact of the matter is most people are selling. A lot of people have no idea what they're doing, and they're selling their crypto. So you have to do opposite of what the general public does. And when you hear that most people are selling, because of human psychology and crowd psychology, a lot of times people hear that and they go, oh, I should sell too. Everybody else is selling. That must mean the market's going to crash. But no, the big players and the big investors, they're buying when the majority of people are selling because they know how to make money in these markets. And it's to do opposite of what most people are doing. And it's really that simple, you guys. You just have to do opposite of the crowds. So yeah, I do believe that one of the biggest bull markets in human history is coming for crypto. This is only the beginning. We've started to see the bull market with Bitcoin headed all the way to 100K. Yeah, it pulled back a little bit in the short term, but I firmly believe it's going to recover, and Theta is not going to be left behind. I firmly believe Theta is going to be one of the biggest players this cycle. And I know when you're trading these markets, it can be really discouraging. Maybe you've had big losses in the market and you feel like everything you try isn't working. And maybe you feel like there's no way to make money in these markets. There is a way to make money in these markets. And that's why I created my one-on-one coaching program to help you guys transform your trading and your investing so that within 12 weeks of coaching with me, you guys can be profitable investors and start consistently making money in the crypto markets. So apply for one-on-one coaching, link in the description box below, and I'll be happy to hop on a phone call with you or a Zoom call and talk a little bit about how one-on-one coaching can change your life. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.